Hi, I'm back. It's Chubby Girl in Transit. If you're new here, hi. My name is Ifoma and I'm a student YouTuber based in Lagos, Nigeria. I make lifestyle, college and beauty related videos. I hope you stick around.
So tell Ifoma, who be Ifoma? Ifoma don't got shit on you.
See, I can remember back then when there were just like very few private universities, and with those few private universities, you have to convince parents, you have to convince people to go to those private universities before they can even consider going for it. But now things have slightly changed because there are tons of public universities right now. See, many people choose private universities like without losing any time at all these days. While some can still swear that private universities produce the better service, private universities produce this, they produce that. Whichever clique you belong between those two, calm down. Nigeria will humble you. So I kind of agree that private universities are better than public universities. I kind of agree. In terms of strike, they don't go through that. In terms of easy access to lecturers, they have that at their disposal. But do that really mean that they are actually better? Now we are going to compare and contrast. We are going to distinguish and differentiate, as well as highlight the perks and the downside of public universities and private universities here in Nigeria. The major difference between public and private universities are how they are funded. So public universities are funded by the government, while private universities are funded by private individuals or organizations. Now, tuition fees. Funding affects tuition. So because private universities are funded by private individuals and organizations, their tuition costs even 10 times more than that of public universities. That is why private universities are like inaccessible to low-class individuals from low-class families. You get me? That is why the average Nigerian cannot afford to go to a private university, only if they get scholarship. Just scholarships are going to save them. Strike! See guys, strike. The word strike self is striking headache into my medulla. Like I don't get why this country still has something like that. So academic and non-academic staff of public universities are very familiar with strike. Every year, occasional strike every year. Like they cannot do without it. It is what keeps school running. Because that's basically what I can say. That's what keeps the school running. There is occasional strike. Every year there's strike. Now, if you're in Nigeria, even if you're not in Nigeria, you should know that there's currently an ongoing strike.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because
it is now almost 9 months that the strike is on, and they are not making any progress in calling off the strike. Now, chances are we're not resuming this year. Chances are this strike is going to last for 2 more years to come. That's why I barely move on with my life. You guys can come and patronize my business. I sell machine parts. I sell engine for your Benz. Because these days people are buying Benz anyhow. I don't get. I'm about to open a GoFundMe account. Me too, I'm a human being now. You people can come and help my ministry. So basically these strikes are just the academic and non-academic staff trying to, I think it's their own form of protesting. I don't get it. But they are basically demanding for an increase in salary, to pay their salary arrears. Basically the federal government owes them salary like crazy. So this is their own form of, you're not teaching the students until you pay off. That automatically means if you are studying a 4 years course, you might end up being a 6 years course. You might stay more than that in the institution. For instance, a medical student that's supposed to stay 6 years in the university might end up staying 8 years, 10 years, all in the name of strike. Yeah, in this category, private university is better. Ease of gaining admission. So you all know that gaining admission into public university is not easy, fam. So the criteria for gaining admission into a top public university is way higher than the criteria for gaining admission into a private university. If you don't know, for instance, trying to get into any public university like University of Ibadan, Ile-Ife, Ahmadu Bello University, all those kind of things, their cutoff mark is usually very, very high. So it is not easy at all. You have to put in so much work for you to get into that institution. Good luck. But on the other hand, private universities have made it so much easier for students to get into the institution by just automatically granting them admission into their various courses of choice. They have made getting into the university so easy that the criteria required is just looked upon. Where what can we say? We are in a rotten economy. We are in a rotten country. So everything doesn't just make any sense anymore. Basically. Curriculum. So the curricula of private universities are often more progressive, like they are moving forward, they are not standing in one place. It is very, very flexible, unlike public universities. Private universities have often more faster academic year calendars, which makes them ahead of public universities. Jonesing. Learning conditions. So unlike public universities that have difficulty in so many things, one of the things that annoy me is their learning condition. It's only in the public university that you see that students are taking lectures and they are sitting down on the floor. They are standing. Some people are squatting. Some people are even borrowing the lecturer's table just so that they can learn. Everything in the university is basically so rotten. Nothing is working, nothing is good. Everything is in shambles. Because there are no good facilities. We don't have good learning environments. That is it in a nutshell. But in private universities, everything is working well. They are better equipped than public universities. I did a video on first time in a Nigerian university, and in that video I talked about how hard it is to get into a lecture hall. So if you're having lecture, you have to think of how you can maneuver yourself into a lecture theater in one piece. Basically, now I'm a chubby girl, so I thought it was going to be easier to swing in and swiftly enter the class because I had a petite frame. But I was wrong. Yet again, it is so not easy to get into a lecture hall because everybody's trying to drag. Everybody's trying to secure a safe place where they can sit and where you can hear your lecturer and where you can see the board as well. They give admission to way more people than the lecture hall can accommodate. So most times, some people are standing outside receiving lectures, some people are sitting on the floor. Private university wins again. What are we talking about? They win again. Rotten economy. Independence and street wisdom. Public universities expose students to real world in terms of hustle and bustle, all the kata that goes on in a normal average Nigerian's life. Unlike private universities that they're literally spoon-fed. Some private universities pamper their students to a point whereby they even find it difficult to blend with the real world, if you get me. Before some of you start becoming defensive, wait. I know that some of you will be saying, I have one question for you. What sort of backbone would you be developing if you are being treated this way? This is Nigeria. Well, everything that has happened within the past 1 month should tell you that you have to use graduate in some areas of life. Because these are some undergraduates that should be developing into adulthood. So this is a stage in their life where they need to become very independent as they transition into their adulthood. So in making decisions, you need to carefully analyze your options, the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages, what you can endure, what you can tolerate, identify your goals, your course of study, your cost and environment, and everything in between before choosing between private or public universities. There's no one that is better if you ask me. This is Nigeria. Everything in Nigeria is not good again, so I cannot say private is better and I cannot say public is better. Well, note that whether you go private or public, your chances in the job market is the same. Well, except some organizations that still prepare graduates from the public universities than that of the private universities. Because there are some places like that. They're moving mad everywhere in Nigeria. You just have to make your research right. And if you want to know the things that you should know before getting into any private or public universities in Nigeria, then click on this video right here, because I'm going to be telling you everything, both the things that they don't tell you, things that you thought you knew that will burst your bubble. I got to tell you in that video. So be sure to click on that video right there, and I'm going to be spilling some teas. The teas I couldn't spill here, I'm going to be spilling it right there. So click on the video, click